I think a lot of people are going to focus on what's been lost over the last 5, 6 months, but you still have a very young, talented roster. I mean, just looking at some of those position groups, what kind of has you most excited to be coaching again this fall?
Well, there's a lot of guys back there, Tice. You know, a lot of people forget what a good player DJ James is. You know, we certainly take pride in development. You know, circumstances are what they are, and all of a sudden, yeah, there's been some vacated slots. But at the same time, that is exciting. It's exciting for the coaches. It's exciting for these players that they weren't waiting their turn. They always approach every opportunity in the form of trying to gain more playing time, trying to take a job. But knowing that those guys now are at the forefront of how this thing looks, they have a chance to really solidify themselves as really good football players and guys to depend upon and count on. But there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys on this roster that are in similar situations. We're excited for them. We want to get to practice so we could figure those things out.
Obviously, Penei Sewell's opting out. It's significant for obvious reasons. That's now all 5 starters on the offensive line last year gone. I guess first candidates to possibly replace Penei at left tackle, and then just that whole group, kind of what's that going to look like, and what are you going to need to see from these guys to be ready November 7th, because you are replacing the totality of that group?
Sure, absolutely. No, it's a challenge. It's the right kind of challenge. I wouldn't want to dive into exact pieces on where they're going because we just haven't practiced much. We had 4 practices in the spring, and we do see capable bodies. We're excited about the guys that are on the team, certainly excited about the offensive line. And guys are going to have to gain their first game experience in the first game. You know, and I certainly understand what comes with that. But quite honestly, and from my perspective, what comes with that for myself, for Coach Mirabal, is excitement. Because these are young, powerful guys. They're skilled, they're hard workers, they have the right demeanor. And, you know, this pandemic brought what it brought. You know, it vacated one of our best, maybe the best player in the country. Well, it's time for somebody else to step up. And you know what? Challenges like that are going to arise anyways throughout the season. Other teams are going to be faced with it too. Certainly, I'm sure the rest of the conference is really happy that 58's not around. But that's all right. You know, I think as we move closer in these next couple of weeks, as we put our practice plans together, and we'll get a better feel for movement skills, what really fits that left tackle spot. Obviously, a lot of signs pointing towards Teven Jones because of how well he's played when he has played. He's played at right tackle, right guard, left tackle. He's a massive human being, incredible athletic ability, toughness, smart, tremendous just team guy, you know, and on his way to being a leader. So, but he's just one of several. I don't want to shortchange anybody or overstate, you know, someone's candidacy for that job. But we will be able to prepare 8 to 9 guys that we feel that we can win football games with.
Considering the roster as a whole, you've recruited at a really high level for a couple years, and you've got some young guys you're really excited about, but it's some unproven guys too. And you lost Justin, you lost Troy, you talked about the losses on the offensive line. So how do you balance excitement and confidence in your young guys with, Thomas and Diamador maybe being gone too, just, concern over just how much, veteran production you have to replace now?
Well, you do. And, that's the one part that there was never a solution for with the adjustments to COVID, was the fact that, okay, you just lost a senior class, right? You start the 2020 season, and then with the ability to opt out and guys have an opportunity to move on to the NFL, there was never a time frame or a system to, well, how do we replace these players? How can we have extra scholarships? How can we increase the roster number, replace those numbers? There isn't one for that. So that's now part of the playing field, and once you have to make an adjustment to. How do you balance excitement, optimism, all that stuff? I don't think it ever changes, quite honestly. I really don't. Not with what has come into the program, and not with what's coming into the program as well. I think everyone will have to deal with some type of hit to the depth chart at a particular position. It's usually the nature of the beast in football, and in this particular season, it's an even greater one that people are going to have to get creative. You're going to have to coach at your very, very best, and that's exciting. It really is, have trust and have confidence in your players, okay? Prepare them to play. And in our team meeting yesterday, and looking at all those faces, 110, 12, 15, whatever it was, is, you know, for those guys to look among themselves and realize that, and it's someone who least expects it, somebody unexpectedly is going to have to make a play a series, play a game to help us win a championship this year. That's going to happen. That's as sure as the sun's going to rise and set. It's going to happen. And because that's the case, preparation and the detail of preparation from your ones all the way down to your service team, your scout teams, has got to be on point, and you've got to prepare everybody to play significant and winning football, because those situations are going to arise. So full throttle, expectations always the same, excitement always through the roof.
You mention all the time about getting recruits here, particularly who aren't in the region. You haven't been able to do that and get it. And until last week, there was the prospect of not even having a season, and it hasn't hindered you folks very much, it appears.
Well, it starts with our place and the people here. We all feel we're at the best place in the entire country. Then from there it goes with just being genuine and real, and making sure that since they couldn't come to us, we had to bring the Oregon brand into the homes of all these prospects and their families, and the staff worked absolutely relentlessly to make all these Zoom opportunities and meetings and tours with families, brought those to life. And at the same time, I think people have seen the transformation over the last couple of years and the trajectory. And great players want to be around great players, but they want to be around great people. They want to be around great mentors. They want to be around a place that invests in its student athletes, that has processes in place that have proven to develop guys for the next level, and also preparing them for opportunities in life. So it's like, we could do a recruiting commercial right here, right now, if you want to, you know, but it's real here. It really is. And I think that because players are smart, they have access to information. They see how many players have that we've lost last year, that we're set to graduate this year as well, and that there's opportunity to play early, and that we play players. Last year, I can't remember exactly how many freshmen played, but the numbers were high, and they had tremendous success. So all that stuff and more, it just, we could go on and on and on. So, and we need to, because recruiting cannot stop, but it shows, it gives you an idea of the trajectory of the program and where we expect to be year after year.